Cornish Witch podcast. I'm your host, Freyja, a witch who lives in Cornwall but who isn't a born and bred Cornish maid. Firstly, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has listened, liked, shared, followed, subscribed, or downloaded the podcast. Since the podcast first went live, which was only 6 weeks ago, it's reached over 1,000 downloads, which is amazing seeing as we are only 6 episodes in. I'm so grateful and I hope to keep bringing more Cornish witchy content for you to all enjoy. In today's episode, I welcome the beautiful Pixie, a talented witch, psychic, nail artist, and the owner of Alchemy Nails. And just in case you're wondering about the title of this episode, Onycho is the Greek word or prefix for nails, and onychomancy is an ancient form of divination using a person's fingernails to predict the future. So I thought this name was perfect for the title of this episode. We discuss Pixie's journey into nail artistry, the importance of creating and welcoming a protective environment for her clients, and the fascinating intersection of spirituality and what she does with her nail art. Our conversation flows into topics of witchcraft, personal growth, and the significance of intention in both spell work and daily life. Pixie also shares her personal experiences with the paranormal, some adversity she's experienced being a witch and feeling like she's had to go back in the broom closet, the rise and reclamation of witchcraft in modern society, and the joy of celebrating Halloween and Samhain. Pixie, welcome to the Cornish Witch podcast. Thank you for being a guest on my show today. Thank you for having me in your beautiful witchy borough. I absolutely love it in here. I know, it's so magical. So we are sat in Pixie's nail studio called Alchemy Nails. But when you walk through the door, it is just an absolute witch's cave. It is full of fairy lights, Welsh dresses, full of potion bottles, crystals, pumpkins, magical ornaments, books, lights. There's just so much stuff on the walls to do with astrology, alchemy, tarot. It's just absolutely beautiful. I love coming in here. And also Pixie is a nail artist and she runs Alchemy Nails here in North Cornwall in Launceston. And it is just it's always such a fun place to come along and get your nails done and have a chat and talk about anything witchy or just shoot the breeze. You are so talented. You have such a broad variety and you cater to whatever people want, whether it's witchy or whether it's just like I don't want to say basic, but like a basic French manicure. So how did you get started here?
It was purely by chance, really. We've moved back down here and I'd been a counsellor for years and my background's working with young offenders. And I was originally going to set up my counselling practice when we moved back here. And for whatever reason, it wasn't really working out. I was getting a lot of inquiries, but nobody's actually booking in. But then I got to thinking, is it really what I want to do at the moment anyway? And I'm a big believer if you're trying to push at something and it's not quite working out, then there's usually, in my experience, something else around the corner. So I always thought I'd like to do something a little bit more creative, perhaps. I love working with people, always loved working with people, especially in an intimate setting. On a one-to-one. And anyway, to cut a long story short, one day I got this college prospectus through the letterbox at home. And I thought, do you know what? I fancy doing a course of some description. And I don't know, for whatever reason, the nail tech course stood out for me and I thought I'll give that a good go. So this was at Saltash College, which has since closed. Not my fault, but it has. And I don't know, I just fell in love with it straight away. I really enjoyed the course. And took the bull by the horns and decided I'd get on with it and get a little salon going. Started at home. Not too long after lockdown happened. And then we noticed this little place was for rent. And my husband said that I'd really suit you. Well, actually, it was him that noticed it and came home and told me about it. like I normally do, an idea will pop into my head and I'll jump in with both feet and just go for it with not much thought. So we did, but it was actually really nice because as a family, because it was a magnolia box really when we came in.
You would never have known.
Yeah, well, I knew how I wanted it.
Yeah.
So we had all that time during lockdown to just bimble about and decorate it and stick things in it, and it was a bit of a family thing. And then it was somewhere for me and the girls to come. They were a lot younger then, so we were a bit bored stuck in the house. And I don't know, it was just a really nice time for us. Yeah. And it's done really well. I'm really pleased. I've just got so many beautiful clients. I love all of my clients. I really do. And I don't know, there's just something really special about sitting opposite your favourite people and making their nails pretty and chatting. And it's lovely.
And the brand that you have for your nail polish and gels, it's called Alchemy, like Alchemy.
And that was an utter
Alchemy.
coincidence.
Was it? Yeah.
So I'd already decided I wanted to be Alchemy Nails.
Yeah.
And I was looking for a brand to go with. I'd done my research and I wanted one brand because you should stick with one. Use all of their products because it's all designed to work together and tested and whatnot. I came across Alchemy. I was like,
oh, it's meant to be.
Yeah, they just had loads of exciting things. So they were only about a year old when I discovered them as well. Yeah, I've just stuck with them ever since because I love their products. Yeah, they're a bit magically themed.
Yeah.
And they're a really nice company as well. Fairly local, up in Bridgewater. So I don't know, it was all like it was kind of meant to be, but that's how you find it, isn't it?
And they also have certain nail polishes, gels come out that are themed. So they've done the tarot cards, which I've had on my nails before. I've had the High Priestess. I love that colour. They've had some recent ones come out with like things like witch glass in it and Coven and dark ritual, which I'm wearing at the moment.
Of course, it appeals to me as
well.
So, yeah, I'm always really pleased when they bring out those kind of things.
Yeah.
So I'm always excited about the autumnal collections, especially what they're going to bring out for Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah. You tend to attract your tribe, don't you? So most of my clients are witchy or spiritual, or they love Halloween just as much as I do. So it's such a fun time of year because everyone has really great ideas and I just love it. It's so exciting.
And I was going to ask actually, sort of going into sort of the clientele that you have, and I know that I'm one of your regulars. It does attract witchy clients and spiritual people, which is great.
And you kind of bounce off each other.
We do, yeah. What's the most interesting client that you've had in the time that you've been here?
Oh my goodness me. I don't think I can pick out one.
No.
Because I've got all of them are so interesting and everyone's got their own story of how they came to be where they are now.
Yeah.
And how maybe they've discovered their spiritual journey, or everyone's gone through stuff and they've grown and they've changed and they've adapted. And that's why I love to be a counsellor in the first place, because people fascinate me and people are just amazing, aren't they? Human beings are amazing. And I just love listening to people's stories. And obviously, when you say who's the most interesting, I'll probably find the likes of you and all the other more witchy ones are the most interesting.
Oh, thank you.
Everyone's, I can't pick one person out. That'd be impossible. That's like picking out your children.
With being a nail technician and also with your background in counselling, do you protect your energy in this space? Because you're having a lot of different energies and a lot of different people come through the door, and we all carry our own stuff. So what do you do to protect yourself and your work environment?
Well, I learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
So I didn't used to protect myself. So, as a counsellor, you pay a supervisor each month.
Yes.
So when you've taken on all this trauma and whatnot, then you get to offload onto your supervisor. She's there to protect your clients and to protect you.
Yeah.
So you can offload, but obviously here I can hear things that are just as traumatic. People tend to sit in that chair and offload, which I'm absolutely happy about. That's what I'm about. Obviously it's like, what do I do with that? Where do I take it after? If something stuck with me, but I will normally take some time for myself after. like I said to you before, it takes me about an hour to go. I just have to zone out a
Yeah.
little bit. But I've learned now that I will clear the air and clear the space every morning when I come in. I try and come in all positive. And
Yeah.
I even say good morning to the shop.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, when I moved in, that's the way it started. I did we'd had, I can't remember what kind of moon we'd had the night before I got the keys to the shop. I did the cleansing around the doorway and all the rest of it. And I introduced myself to the shop and said, I'll look after you. I hope you can look after me. And thank you for having me and all the rest of it. And ever since then, I've had such a good feeling in this space. I really have. And I think others pick up on it too. But obviously, with a lot of people coming in and out, and sometimes people are upset because something might be on the mind and they're offloading. So it can get a bit stagnant. Yeah. I suppose that's the word I'm looking for. So I do have my moon water, which I change with every new batch. And a little spray up there in the black bottle.
Yeah,
So I'll come in and I'll have a little spray around. I don't like to sage, just in case you get somebody coming in after who's not keen on the smell.
Yeah.
So then I put my intentions out and clear it. And then I'll just take a minute before I start to protect myself and put myself in my little bubble. You know how you put your light around you and pretty much ready for the day.
Yeah.
I don't take too long about it. It's a time, but I don't know. Well, I have a friend who says it's like putting on your psychic condom. So that's kind of stuck with me.
Oh, that is so funny. I've never heard that one before. That's brilliant.
I can't take credit for that.
Because I've heard of bubbling and I've heard of you put on a cloak. That one's amazing. Just protect yourself.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's protection.
Yeah.
But
That's going to make me giggle for the rest of the day.
I think it was Claire Hinks that said that. I think it was.
So Claire comes in here, doesn't she, sometimes?
So I don't work on Mondays currently. So she doesn't come every Monday, but every now and then she'll be here on a Monday and she will do readings for people because she's a medium. Very good medium, I'd like to add. I've known her for a few years, lovely lady. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really nice that you're able to open and offer the space and you're not using it as well.
Well, I think it's a perfect kind of space. It's quiet, it's intimate, it's private.
It is.
You can't see in unless you really come up to the window to the nose in. So, I think that's why my clients feel comfortable in here as well.
But what I like about it is that when you're walking past, even though you can't see in, you can see all of the fairy lights, all the magical bits. So that draws people. It draws your eye.
Every now and then you'll get somebody stepping up to the window.
Yeah,
and you're like, hello.
Oh, what's this place?
I think we just see the twinklies and want to come and see what it's about.
So I'm looking around and I can just see your spell jars and crystal balls, and I can see your pendulums and crystals and your palmistry hand. Talk to me about the decor in here.
Well, most of it is aesthetic.
Yeah.
But a large chunk of it is personal. That's kind of mixed in. So you see that little cabinet up on the wall?
Yes.
That little apothecary cabinet?
Yes.
That is real. That's my real little spell ingredients and spells. And I don't keep a lot in there, but I do go back into that cabinet now and then when I want to make a little spell. And I will use that dresser over there to do them on, clear a little space.
Yeah.
And, I know it's not much room, but there's not much room in here at all. So you work with what you've got, don't you?
Yeah.
And those two little books up there, can you see them on their own?
Yes, just up there.
Yeah, they're my little, all my handwritten bits and bobs in that I refer to.
So they're like your grimoires?
Yeah.
And that's fantastic.
Yeah.
See, I've been coming here for over a year and I didn't know that.
Yeah,
and
they're very
so
discreet up there.
Yeah, no, I like that. Thank you for sharing that.
And obviously there's a mix of tarot cards over there. They're not the ones that I use personally very often. The ones that I will use if I feel I need to pull one for myself or a client is my little deck in here in my drawer. And that is Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray. And I also keep one of my pendulums in here.
Yeah.
I like to refer to my pendulum. So that's probably one of my favourite things because it's quick and simple.
Okay. So when it comes to divination tools, pendulum dowsing's your favourite?
I love my
For-
pendulums.
yeah.
I've got a few. I just being ADHD, nice and simple, nice and streamlined.
Yeah.
So the reason I don't do tarot cards, although they really do interest me, and I've got a couple of decks, and I feel a bit of a connection to the Rider-Waite.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll come to that later. But oracle cards, quick and simple, because I work on intuition with anything, whether I want to or not. That's the way it works. So you pick an oracle card, or you get your client to pick one, and your intuition's telling most of it, isn't it? And it's the same with your pendulum. It's intuition, and obviously it's giving you yes or no, but it's just very quick and simple. You just ask it to give you a quick yes, ask it to give you a quick no. It's usually the same for me. Ask it your question and you're done. So yeah, nice and simple and easy. I don't like complicated. I don't do complicated spells. The more simple I can make them, the better. Yeah, and my crystals, of course.
Yeah. And you make your own wax melts as well, which smell delicious.
I like to kind of do those with not particularly spells, but definitely intention, which is all positive and loving, and because they just make me so happy when I make them anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I sell those in here. Can't think what else.
You've got your beautiful broomsticks or besoms as you walk through the door. One's been made by a local Cornish witch, is that right?
She's known as the Hen Lady, I think. She rescues hens, and she's just a lovely, lovely lady. So she makes those. Well, I say she makes them. The story was she would order them from the guy, and I forget what they're blinking called now, my memory's awful. Company that made them for the Goblet of Fire movie, I believe.
Oh, right, okay.
And they make them for the royal family. They made them for the Queen, and now made for the King. So they're made in the traditional way, full size, absolute beauty. Michelle used to buy them, and she using pyrography, I think it's called
I can never pronounce it properly. That one's so true. So pyrography.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she puts the runes in them and the little symbols. Yeah. She's got beautiful charms on them and beautiful ribbons. Mine's purple. Oh, they're just beautiful.
They
things.
are.
So I've got one at home hung above my front door.
Yeah.
Because my home's very similar to this place. Full of stuff. I just love them. If I could ride it, I would.
Oh, wouldn't we all? Yeah. Maybe one day as we get closer to with technology.
Yeah. But for now, it's just there to look at, because it's a beautiful thing to look at.
It is. It's stunning. It's absolutely stunning.
She's very talented. And she sells a lot of art at Zebediah's as well. She's got a little stand there. She's making her own soaps and all sorts. Yeah, she's very talented. Maybe I'll have her on your podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
She's a very interesting lady.
Yeah. And what I love about this area in Launceston town is you've got the Crystal Shop just down the road, and then you've got Black Cat Books, who was on my podcast. You've got Cakeaway, you've got Keep Audio. So you're a nice little, and you've got like the barbers as well, but you're a lovely little community, and you really look out for each other, which is so
very
nice.
lucky.
Yeah. So how did your journey start with witchcraft and spiritualism?
Oh gosh, do you know what? I actually had a client who asked me how long I'd been a practicing witch for. And I probably gave her the wrong answer, because I don't know. It's my honest answer, because I remember when I was younger, and looking back, I think I was manifesting things without realising. I had a fairly traumatic childhood, so I was always in my head and in my imagination. And I remember deciding something would happen, and it would. Yeah, strange things. Anyway, I think I really, really started to get in touch with my spiritual side and realise just what we are capable of.
Yeah.
And begin to put names to things I might have already been doing. That probably would have been back in around 2009, something like that.
Okay, yeah.
When I met my husband, it became apparent he was very spiritual. So he put me in, he suggested a couple of books for me to read. And at the time I was working as a project worker with young offenders.
Yeah.
And I can tell you the very time that it all started dawning on me. I was on an evening shift, 1 to 9 p.m. evening shift. And I was down in my office and it was very quiet in the place I was working in. I think I'd just finished reading another book. I'd been on this journey. I'd read the Celestine prophecy. I'd read Conversations with God, and all these neurons started firing together. Wow. And I think I'd just finished one other book, and I felt the strangest thing. It was like I was up on the ceiling. You couldn't get me down. It was like I was on some substances or something. And I was really excited. I was almost manic with excitement because I don't know what it was, whether it was some kind of awakening or... And I had to phone a spiritual friend of mine. She's done Reiki on me in the past, and she was on her own spiritual journey. And we'd actually been on our counselling course together. That's how we knew each other. And I had to ring her up, and I was like, "Oh my God, bring me down, bring me down." I'm not sure what's going on here. And then just from then, it's just been from one thing to another, just discovering more and more about myself and about my relationships with others and about what we are capable of. And then when we moved back here, it'll be 10 years this December, wasn't long after I discovered Claire's Dragonflies group. Yeah. So she's very much a mentor and she'd help you all. I think at one point it was a bit of a joke. We called ourselves the Spiritual Avengers kind of thing. Because we all had our own kind of... I found through her group that I was good at psychometry, and I had no clue I was good at that until I did
amazing.
It. Yeah. And there were other things that, she'd help us hone our skills on them. So we were all discovering what kind of things we were good at that we didn't know we were good at. And the meditation, I think that was the most important, although I was the one known for falling asleep. She'd go around the group.
I'm like that.
Everyone would be like, "Well, I saw this, and oh my goodness, I felt this, and I talked to this." And she'd get to me and be like, "I fell asleep." There's been a couple of times I've had a really good meditation there, and I had conversations with somebody, but it was rare. I'd normally fall asleep.
Yes.
I'm always exhausted. But I mean, it was explained to me. It's not like you're getting nothing from it if you do fall asleep because, there is an awareness there. Yeah. It's just that.
Maybe your spirit guides are saying, let's take this time for you to rest.
I did at one point in one of them, I met a spirit guide that I didn't know I had. And that was so exciting. I was so excited after that meditation. But yeah, it's even after all these years, that's still something I'm trying to work on.
Yeah.
Being not fully present, that's probably the wrong way to describe it, but to have the kind of meditation that I would like to have where I come out of it and I do remember all the things that, I suppose if it's a rest for the brain, it's as good as anything, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. When I do yoga nidra, you're meant to go down into that liminal space of sleep and awake. And sometimes I can stay in there for a little while, but sometimes I fall asleep and then but then what I'll do is I'll catch myself snoring and I'm like, "Wake up, Freyja, wake up." Because I'll just go. So it's not always easy to stay in the in-between. But I get what you mean. Sometimes I'll just fall asleep too.
I wish I could be more disciplined and maybe, mind you, I wake up very early as it is and I hit the ground running, but if I could wake up a little bit earlier and start the day with a little bit of meditation, or at least end the day with a little bit of meditation, but it just doesn't work out that way for me. Maybe one day. Yeah, it'll happen when it's meant to, I guess.
Yeah, I'm the same. I mean, with all the best intentions in the world, and I'll try and practice what I preach and do that meditation or do that grounding or try and sort of get down to a nice relaxed space before I go to bed. Sometimes life just gets too busy.
And that's the thing, as spiritual as you do like to be, you're still a human being. You have to live your life and have your human experience and pay your bills and do your cleaning and
do your washing, do the shopping.
So, it's making all of that work together, isn't it? But it's frustrating because I know how important meditation is. I mean, that is a key that unlocks a lot of stuff if you're spiritually inclined. So, but then, perhaps it's just not the time for me to unlock anything else at this point. So,
Yeah.
like I said before, you're always growing and changing, aren't you? So
Yeah, you never stop.
there's always new versions of you
Yeah.
to discover in the future.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to let it upset me too much.
No. Maybe one day you'll finally open up that chapter or
Mm.
start that chapter and be like, oh,
Yeah.
it's finally here.
I think the main
Yeah.
thing is if you're aware
Yeah.
of what's going on around you
Yeah.
in the other realms, if you know what I
Yes.
mean. And there are spirit guides and your ancestors. You know, that's my belief. They're all there waiting for you to allow them to assist you, or they're there to be giving you messages.
Yeah.
And, you know, everybody gets those messages in different ways. Some people never become aware of those messages, but I think meditation's one of the keys, isn't it?
Yeah. You mentioned ancestors,
Mm.
and one thing I wanted to ask you is, do you have any family history, any family members who have practiced witchcraft or who have been spiritual?
Well, I've always
too.
thought there must be, surely.
Yeah.
Surely I'm not the first in the
Mhm.
family. But only recently my auntie just casually mentioned, oh yeah, your grandmother's sister used to read tea leaves and she was a psychic. And I was like, oh my goodness.
So your great aunt was a psychic. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd love
Wow.
to know more about it, but it's very
Yeah.
hard to discover things in
It
my
is.
family because I don't have many family members to ask.
I thought you meant it's very hard to discover things,
Mm.
tracing things back. And sometimes when you,
Mm.
like you said, when you don't have many family members to ask, but also
I mean, it's all very well doing your
Yeah.
family tree, but you're not getting into the
nitty-gritty.
yeah
Yeah.
of getting to know. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll find out more through meditation. you
Yeah,
know?
maybe it could be a spirit guide. She comes through as a spirit guide, which would be
Who knows?
amazing.
That would be absolutely fantastic. Because I mean, my understanding is that it's actually not very common to have relations come through as spirit guides.
No, I don't
I mean,
think it
obviously you do
is.
have your ancestors,
Yeah.
but yeah, it would be fantastic to find out who she was. Obviously, it piqued my interest, but
Yeah, it
who
is sort of
knows?
up there.
Yeah. But then my children, I think, are aware of their spirituality more than they realise.
Mhm.
And I know one of my daughters, she was very good with the meditation, and she sees auras, and she would see little lights dancing around like kids at school, but she
Yeah.
wouldn't dare mention anything. She didn't want to be bullied, and she'd come home and talk to me about it. And, you know, she looked at crystals. You know, they're teenagers now, so I think they pull away from those
You
things.
do.
But,
You have to let them sort of go through their own journey.
but they're absolutely aware, and they know what I think of what's out there and what we're capable of. I just think it's useful for living your life to have that awareness, because it can teach you not to sweat the small stuff, can't it? Because in the grand scheme of things, if you are spiritual, the small stuff, it honestly doesn't matter as long as there's nobody's hurt. And that's a massive thing as well. I think that's the most important thing. Nobody's getting hurt.
Yeah.
Anything you do, I think your intention is the most important thing, isn't it? So
there is that witch saying, which is there is that witch saying which. That was difficult to say. If it harms none, do what you will, or something along those lines. And I was always brought up with my mum saying to me, it's something very similar. She always said, I don't care what you do as long as you are happy and not hurting anyone and not hurting yourself.
Yeah, that's all I've said to my children.
Yeah. And that stuck with me.
Well, I think a lot of the way I grew up with a narcissist, like a textbook narcissist for a mother. And without going into too much detail, she wasn't nice. And if anything nice happened to anyone, she was very negative. They don't deserve it, I do, blah, blah, blah. And, nothing nice to say about it, no kind intentions. It was all me. So having that kind of childhood made me want to be the complete opposite. So if something good's happened to somebody, I'm genuinely pleased and happy for them. It doesn't matter whether I think they deserve it or not. It doesn't come into it. You please people, and if anything good happens to you, you're grateful.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
And I just think all of that is, if you're a negative person, if you're bitter, it eats you up inside, and you get more negative and more bitter as the years go on. So if your intentions are good and you only intend kindness and love, and you're happy for people when things go right, and you empathise when they go wrong and help if you can, then I think that's only, it's it grows inside, doesn't it? And it makes you a better person. Not that it makes you look a better person, it makes you feel a better person.
Yeah.
I think it's like watering a seed, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's nice to be nice.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah.
So you do get judgy people.
Of course.
She's a witch. Yes. But they're people who misunderstand, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, any good witch knows that anything you put out comes back. So.
Yeah. And I do
Simple
believe
as
in the
that.
law of threefold. Have you ever, so you said that when you were talking about protection, that you learned your lesson when you first came here and not protecting yourself. With your spell work, have you ever done a spell where it's kind of backfired or you've had to learn a lesson from it?
I can't think, if I'm honest. You mentioned that question to me a little while ago, didn't you? And I went home and I thought of it, and I couldn't think of an instance. Maybe it's just that I haven't done enough spells, or maybe something's happened as a result and I'm not being aware. Who knows?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's something to keep check on, isn't it? But
yeah.
Like I said, I think you can't go far wrong if whatever you're doing, the intention's good.
Yeah.
If I've ever done a spell against someone, it's not been with malice.
No.
And I've done probably 3 spells against people in the last God knows how many years. It's not something I would make a habit of. It's just people who've caused hurt to somebody I love. Not to me, but to somebody I love. So I've wanted, so it wouldn't be to cause them any pain. It would be to just bounce it back to them, whatever they're doing
like a
to my
return
loved
to
one.
sender.
Or maybe the worst is I've put maybe a little bit of chili flakes in there. So I've done 3 like have it back spells.
See, that to me doesn't sound like a spell against someone. It sounds like a protection spell.
Well, yes, and it's to leave the person alone. But I've never done anything like that for me because I've never felt the need to.
Yeah.
But I think most spells I've done have been protection ones, or I have. I've got a client who moved into a cottage. There's definitely activity there. Yeah. She just wanted to quieten that activity down a little bit, so I did a spell for that, and she keeps that by her front door, and she's adamant that's done the trick. Most spells I do would be positive things anyway.
You did a beautiful spell for me in a spell bottle at the beginning of the year when I was really struggling with a few physical things that I had going on, which was then in turn obviously affects your mental health. And I still have that spell bottle and I still keep it in the bathroom and I still use it as a ritual as well. And that's one of the lovely things about you is that you do look out for people and you do want to make sure that they are happy and well, and then you'll look to see what can you do to help them, and then that really builds into your craft, which I think is absolutely lovely. And then I also exchanged a spell for your daughter, didn't I?
Actually worked. She was lovely.
So which I think is one of the things that's so lovely about when you meet your tribe or when you meet other witches and you want to work with each other.
Look out for each other.
You look out for each other. And I love the fact that we've exchanged spells in order to, and the intention has been to help, and it's been poured in with good intentions of protection, which has been so nice.
Obviously, we know if somebody comes to you and says, "Can you do a spell to make someone fall in love with me?" That's not the kind of thing we're about, is it?
No, we don't do that.
There's another misconception.
Yeah.
I think we are very misunderstood.
Yeah, we don't mess with people's free will.
I do feel the wind of change upon us because I wouldn't say it's becoming mainstream, but witchcraft is becoming more of a thing. More and more people are interested. I've had more and more people interested in asking me questions and asking me where to start. And you see it in media. And, I'm in a lot of groups that are that way inclined, and they're bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger each time. And I see that as a positive thing, because if you're learning the craft properly from people who know, like we just said, it's a positive thing. It's so important what your intentions are. And those misconceptions then get put to bed when somebody really looks into it. And I think people they're just a bit wary of the world right now, and they're looking inwards. And it's something that you can take control of when you can't take control of what's going on in the world, can you?
Yeah, it's that circle of being us both being in having a counselling background. it is that circle of control, isn't it? Which is a modality that we can use in therapy, and what's in your circle that you can control right now. Yeah.
So to be able to do a manifestation ritual or make a little spell, it's all ways of just taking back a bit of control.
Yeah.
And, so I think it's all very positive, and I think it's a good thing for your mental health as well. Obviously, mental health problems are on the rise more and more.
Yeah.
It's difficult to be a human being living on this planet these days. It
Absolutely.
really is. I mean, it always was, but it seems to be getting worse.
Yeah.
I think people are looking more to magic and spirituality and,
Witches are riches in life. I was discussing this with a witch recently, and she was talking about how she calls herself a witch of the old ways, and that how she's noticing that people are returning back to those old ways.
And also, if you live in Cornwall, it's not hard to do, is it?
It's certainly not. No.
Just this county itself, it's got a special feeling. Even if somebody wouldn't know what we were talking about, they'd understand coming to Cornwall. It kind of gets under your skin. You want to come back. A lot of people fall in love with the place and want to move here. There's just something about the land here. If you go to the moors, if you go to like Goliath Falls or St. Nectar's Glen, the coastline,
Boscastle,
everywhere you go, there's some kind of different feeling. It's strong.
It crackles in the air.
And then you can feel it in your feet on the ground.
You can.
And it's just so magical. It's like this little corner of the country has really held on to all the magical, mystical old ways, and it can't help but rub off on people.
I know.
It's just such a beautiful place to be.
It is.
For that, other than how it looks. And it's just how the place feels for me.
It does have a feeling. It does have a certain vibration, and we call it a county, but I often feel like we're in a country. If I'm honest.
Bar one side,
well,
we're almost an island, aren't we?
Yeah.
And it does seem to attract like-minded people down here because they all feel it, don't they? And they're like, well, this is the place for me to be, because
definitely,
it just feels like home.
With it being such an ancient land down here and the vibrations that we have, and I think we've got some ley lines running all the way through the county.
Absolutely.
So, but you spoke about how your friend had some activity in her home and she wanted it cleared, and you helped her with that. What have been your spiritual or paranormal experiences?
Oh my goodness, I've had many.
I know.
So I think my first experience I was aware of was when I moved into this house in North Wales, which was originally a mining community. There had actually been a mining disaster there as well. There was an explosion and
my
miners
goodness.
died. But the people who owned our house, I think he was a coal miner, and his wife and their kids, and I think they were the first to have the house that was built in the 50s. And then the kids grew up and moved away, and the husband died, and then the wife ended up going into a home and she died. The daughter put the house for sale. We bought it. So we would have been the first family after that. They were called Mr. and Mrs. Bean.
Mr. and Mrs.
Bean! And right from the get-go, there was a funny feeling. Honestly. It was like... it was like they were still around when we moved in there. Didn't take too much notice, and as you do, you start making the place your own. But we'd get really weird things happening. Like I remember it was just me and my eldest daughter in the living room, and upstairs we could hear somebody walking about. I mean, later on when I've mentioned it, I've had people saying, "Was that the central heating pipes or something?" Well, it was summer for a start, but no. We were both sat there stunned, our eyes kind of following where the footsteps were going.
There's a huge distinct difference between metal pipes expanding due to heat.
Well, you do get
to footsteps. And, it was actual footsteps.
And I remember waking up in the night hearing the bath emptying, and I knew the children were asleep. Another time, the toilet flushed, and I got up to see if whichever kid it was all right, because I think it was in the early hours. They were all fast asleep, and I'm talking, this was years ago, and we still had the old toilet there, which was the
Pull
pull
the
chain.
chain.
So, explain that.
Yeah.
I had lots and lots, like I'd smell pipe smoke, and I knew there's a very distinct smell because I grew up with a neighbour who smoked a pipe. It's like a sweet smell, isn't it? And I smell it, and I remember mentioning it to a neighbour of mine, and she said, "Oh yeah, old Charlie Bean used to smoke a pipe," and I thought, okay. There's just lots and lots of little things going on like that. And then when I met Ant, my husband, I told him about the goings on. He's a scientist, he's a mathematician, but he is open-minded. So he'd be like, "Are you sure it wasn't this?" And he is open-minded, but he'll always look to see if there's a reason for
a
it.
healthy skeptic.
Yes. I'm absolutely a believer, but it doesn't mean I believe anything, but I know what I experienced. Anyway, cut a long story short, a few months later, we were in bed, got woken up at about 3 a.m. Oh, that was another thing. At 3 a.m, my youngest son, Tommy, used to be screaming, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, mommy." And I'd go into him and he'd be standing in the corner of his cot, crying his eyes out, pointing to the dark corner, "The lady, the lady." Oh, he still remembers this. So these things always happen at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, it's the witching hour.
So 3 o'clock, we were woken up by this almighty, rattling sound. It sounded like a train going through the house. We're like, "What on earth?" Got up to investigate, and my boy's bedroom door was rattling furiously.
I'm getting tingles.
And I think Ant had come up behind me at that point, and I held onto the door handle because I was a bit annoyed. They've woken me up. They're messing about, these boys. What on earth are they doing? I held onto it for a minute because I was going to burst it and go, "What are you doing?" Held onto this handle, and it was furiously rattling. And this was, it was winter.
Yeah.
I think it was something like February or something like that. And so there were no windows open. It wouldn't be breeze or anything like that. Anyway, after holding on to that for a few seconds, burst in, and they were fast asleep in their bunk beds in the corner of the room. Oh my God, we wet ourselves, couldn't sleep. Just couldn't get back to sleep. Just trying to work out what that was.
Yeah.
I was holding that door, and it was
and you were
violently,
feeling it.
Somebody was holding that rattling, and in my mind, that was one of the boys. So that's one thing Ant experienced for himself and can't explain to this day.
Yeah.
I have had lots of other experiences, but my favourite one, I mean,
I love how you got a favourite experience. That's
because
amazing.
I saw a ghost.
You saw a full body apparition. Wow.
So I have always wanted to see one. Obviously, that kind of thing is rare. I always thought if I saw one, I'd absolutely wet myself.
Yeah.
So again, with Claire and a small group of us, we were doing a little bit of a ghost hunt night at the Elliott Arms in Tregadillet.
Yes. Which is haunted.
Yes.
By a little girl, I think.
We knew about the little girl. And I actually did sense a cat. Apparently people know about the cat. I didn't. I knew there was a cat in there, and that was confirmed. So that was a good start to the evening. Claire and a couple of others had gone and sat, you know when you walk into the hallway of the Elliott, and on the left there's a big glass partition.
Yes, there is.
And there's a little room at the front.
Yeah.
That's the little room we started in after closing time. And Claire set up a pendulum and her yes-no board with a couple of other people. And within no time, they had started communicating with this little girl. They were asking her questions and she was answering. And I was sat back in the chair in the corner just watching. Happened to look up. There's a man stood behind the glass, an actual man. And I'm thinking, oh my God, that's a ghost. I knew this because he looked typically Victorian. And I knew everyone that was there was in this room. I thought he looks fairly tall for the period because I thought everybody would have been smaller in that period. I don't know. That's just how my mind was processing what I was looking at.
When you go to museums and you see like Victorian outfits, they were actually quite short.
Yeah.
To how we are now.
Small. Yeah, I thought he looked short, tall for the time. It was just what I was processing at the time. Yeah. And he had a handlebar moustache, typically. And he had some kind of uniform on. So it was some kind of long coat with metal buttons down the front and some kind of hat on. And he looked like it was an actual man standing there. It was just like he was stood there observing what was going on through the glass. And I was so calm, I surprised myself. And I looked away and looked back, and he was still there.
Wow.
The only thing that was strange about him to look at was that I couldn't work out whether he had a missing eye or whether there was a shadow over his eye.
Okay.
Couldn't work that one out. Anyway, at some point, I couldn't even tell you whether, I think he just wasn't there when I looked again.
Mm-hmm.
And when they'd finished what they were doing, I said, I think I've just been looking at a ghost. And I described what he looked like.
Yeah.
And I said, I think he was either a policeman or a prison warden or something. And the owner started nodding her head. I can't even remember what she said to me, but she confirmed. I think she confirmed it was prison warden. But I was so excited. I got back in. I mean, the rest of the night, I was just a bit like, meh. I've seen a ghost.
Yeah.
I've always, I always wanted to do that. And it happened. I didn't believe it. Anyway, so I got home about 3:30 that morning. I was like, oh, that's all we're going. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. I've never forgotten it. And then we did a little ghost hunt not too long after that at the Manor House in Rilla Mill. And I know the owner, and I know that's a hive of activity for spooks. They do have a man that walks through the bar regularly, but it's more like a recording. I think there's a little girl. And I know the owner saw a woman on the stairs, a full apparition.
Wow.
But the night we did it, nothing. And that was the place that I was hoping to see. I thought we'd definitely seen things, but nothing. It was very quiet evening up until the very end of the night. So we had a REM pod. So myself and Michelle, who does the brooms, and her husband and aunt, we went down into the pool room, and Aunt went off into the other room, which is meant to be haunted, and fell asleep in the chair, clearly not scared at all. So the three of us were sat in this pool room with this REM pod, and I'm trying to communicate. Nothing. We're getting nothing. So a bit later on, I turned to Michelle and I said, well, I don't think they want to entertain us tonight, do they? And the REM pod went crazy. So I guess that was, you can go home now. We didn't want you.
Yeah, we're not performing monkeys. We're not getting paid. Like,
yeah. So, I've had lots of little things, but they're the ones that stick in my mind.
I feel like if Danny Robbins ever happens upon this podcast episode, Danny,
wouldn't that be awesome?
You need to have a chat with Pixie, because those stories, especially the one in Wales, that just gave me chills. And I think that is definitely an uncanny worthy story. So yeah, that is amazing.
I love it though. I just love it. I've always been fascinated, as most people are.
Yeah, it's because it just piques that curiosity. And it's also, it's that what happens after. It's the unknown. It's confirmation, isn't it?
I mean, we all have our own theories, don't we?
Yeah. How? So I was going to ask, so what has been your most sort of affirming experience being a psychic? But I'd say that one, or, being psychically connected.
Well,
like,
I do have some clients that I tend to get things pop in my head for, and I know them well enough to be able to come out with it.
Yeah.
So I do get that, other than ghosts, which is nice.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I haven't honed my skills enough to know what to do next when I get these messages. Say, for instance, I have a client, and then, you see, it's hard to describe how it happens as well, because the likes of Claire being a medium, she sees things, hears things. I don't.
Yeah.
I'll just get something pop into my head, like something really random. And then it's like, I'm getting poked. Say it, say it, say it, say it. And it doesn't always feel convenient to say it. There are times when I wouldn't see. I did sense somebody come in with a baby in spirit once. And obviously that was not appropriate. I would never do that. But I've had a couple of instances where I've said, it's going to sound a bit odd, but does this name? And they'll go, oh, yeah. And then it's, I don't know what to say now. I guess they're just letting you know they're around. It's really awkward. So that's something, when I feel it's the right time, I might try and own those skills a little bit more.
So I'm really curious now. Have you ever had anything when I've come to see you?
Not yet.
Not yet. There's still time.
There's time. But I know with you, I would be safe to.
Oh, you'd definitely be safe to. Yeah. Yeah. That's really
not everybody wants to. I mean,
no. There's kind of like an responsibility there, isn't there? Responsibility and like you have to be sort of like very ethical.
Absolutely. I wouldn't just go blurting out things to anyone, because not everybody wants to know, do they?
No. Wow. How do you protect I know how you protect yourself and your beautiful space here at Alchemy Nails. How do you protect your home and your family? What sort of stuff do you do?
Same way. I have been known to sage around, and I've got a spray.
Yeah.
That I'll spray around. But I do have various charms and trinkets hanging about the house. But not a lot negative happens in our home. We are a very loving, close family.
Yeah. And that's so strong.
Yeah. So usually it's a nice atmosphere in our house anyway. And if anybody's coming into your home, it's somebody you know, isn't it? But, if there ever was anything negative happening, then out would come the sage or the spray, and obviously the intentions, just clear that all out, start again. I've got a little metal bowl, but that's one that's nice to use at New Year. Where you write something you want to let go of on a piece of paper. All the family do it. Stick it in your bowl, light it on fire, let that go, and have the intentions of the things you want to bring to yourself for that new year. So I have all these little rituals and things. But we're quite lucky. It's very rare we do have to, or I have to clear our space. But obviously we're a family and we're human beings, and it's normal. Sometimes you get the odd little, if the youngest one's been a little sort or so but not very often. No. Quite blessed in our family.
Do you have a favourite tool that you like to use when it comes to your spell work? So I know you mentioned that the pendulum is your favourite divination method. If you're doing spell work or you're on your altar, what's sort of the one thing that you really use or you find is a staple in your spell work?
Oh gosh. Well, I pretty much use my black witch salt.
Yes.
In pretty much every single spell I do. So I would say that's a staple, that's a basic. And if anyone's asking me where to start, that's one of the ingredients that I would.
And for people who don't know what black witch salt is, how would you describe it, or how do you make black witch salt?
Well, I cheat and I buy it.
That's how we do it.
There's a few ingredients that I buy from a company called Suggins because I don't have the time to get. There's things like bay leaves and things like that. Obviously, I can sort myself out with, but when it comes to all those little spell jars that I've got there, they're from this company in Hale.
Oh yeah,
and they're witches. And I came across their site and I thought they're the very ones for me. So I will normally just source them from them. So there you go. I'm a bit of a cheat. They're all local ingredients. They're all collected by them. And of course, all the intentions that they make their ingredients with. I know there's a bit of graveyard dirt in there, and, in their particular brand of witch salt. I've got Dead Man's Claw.
So
that's from a friend of theirs, a like-minded friend of theirs who passed away, and they have used parts of the blanket that he died under. First thing I did was message them to say, can I have his name so I can thank him for helping me with this particular spell I was doing at the time. Yeah. I mean, I suppose you'd call that necromancy, wouldn't you? Which sounds a bit scary, but it's not. It's actually not, as long as, obviously, as usual, the intentions are good. What else? They've got different sands from different. So there's St. Michael's Mount sand. So you could do sea witch magic with these things. Mount Space sand. Sorry, they've got sand from St. Ives, and I just love. They've got oil of abramelin, I think it's called.
Okay.
So that was made. I'm probably making myself sound more sinister than I actually am.
Not at all.
But this, so it's. Oh my goodness, it goes way, way, way back through the centuries. It's an oil that you can anoint with and use in spells. And it smells absolutely beautiful. It's got things like cinnamon in and different spices. And Alistair Crowley had his own recipe for it, and they used his recipe.
He's got ties and connections down here.
Absolutely. I mean, people have their own opinions about him. I think myself, knowing what I know, is a little bit sinister. I probably wouldn't have dealings with him myself. But,
same.
but but there is the house that he owned not the one in Cornwall. It's in Scotland, wasn't it? So in this oil I have of his, there's a little tiny piece from a beam, a piece of wood from the beam in his house that he owned in Scotland. But all of these things I collect because they're just so interesting and amazing as well.
And they're going to hold a lot of energy.
Have to use all of them, absolutely. And again, with whatever energy is in these ingredients, you have to do with the best intentions and use carefully and protect yourself. So, oh my goodness, I'm just trying to think what other ingredients I've got in there. I can't think. There's just so many different ones.
It looks amazing though.
But then I do have my own little sourced ingredients that I don't need to buy from somebody else because you can just get all of them. Bay leaves are brilliant. Always have bay leaves because you can write your intentions on those and burn them and let it go, can't you? I think you don't have to be particularly eclectic in your collection of ingredients. It's just me being interested and thinking they're really amazing and wanting to collect them, because you can have your basics, but I think above all, they're just tools, aren't they? They're just tools to use to carry your intention forward. But all the ingredients represent something, don't they? So you're making a bit of a recipe.
Something I always say about the craft is it's completely unique to you.
Absolutely. There's no right or wrong, as long as you're not being horrible.
Exactly. I
think that's the only wrong you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have... You mentioned that ants, when you first started to look into your spirituality side of things, lent you some books to have a read, to have a look at. It's got a couple of people looking at it going, oh, what's in there? What would be one of your favourite books or teachings that you would recommend, but also that you sort of go back to as well? The Prophet.
By Kahlil Gibran.
Okay.
I have recommended that to so many people. It's a good one to start with.
Yeah.
It's only a small book.
Yeah.
You can dip in and out of it.
Okay.
But they're fantastic little nuggets of wisdom to live your life by. When I first read that book, I think what most stood out to me were the little nuggets of advice about your children, and about how they're not extensions of you. They're humans in their own right. They have their own thoughts and opinions. They're their own person, and you have to let them be free and let them go to be who they need to be. I think for a mother coming to terms with that, when it actually dawns on you, you don't own this little person. They're not you. And ultimately, it's a sacrifice for you, for them. You let them go. And you're being a mother to allow them to feel they can let you go and do their own thing in the world. And it's just a horrible thought, your children wanting to leave you and do their own thing and not give you a second thought. But that's what a good mother does. So it's all little things like that. So it doesn't just help you, it helps all the people that you love.
Yeah.
So and there's little nuggets of wisdom on relationships and just all sorts. It's just a lovely little book just to dip in and out of. So I always recommend that to anyone. It just makes you look at things in a different way. So that's the one I would recommend to everybody. Conversations with God, I think, is an awesome trilogy.
Who's that by?
So that's by Neale Donald Walsh. I think they were written in the early 90s.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever come across them yourself. So they're a bit off-putting, and they were for me, because you think, oh, religion.
Yeah.
I respect religion, but I don't have any particular religion myself. So the title can be a bit off-putting for some people, but it's not what it seems.
Okay.
So it's a guy who everything's gone wrong for him in his life, and he's sat in his office, his relationship's going wrong, he's lost a lot of money, this, that and the other, and he is a Christian, and he goes, why God, why me? And all of a sudden he gets this urge to pick up his pen and his legal pad and write, why not? And then he asks another question, and another answer comes to him, and he ends up with this whole conversation with who he believes is God. So you've got a trilogy of books answering all the questions you could ever think of that you would want to ask God if you met him.
Yeah.
And it is a fascinating book. And whether or not you believe what's written in it is true, a lot of it makes so much sense. Like, you know, to live your life by how to see the world. It just makes you see things in a different perspective. And it's just something that now and again I think I must revisit those books. It's having time to read.
Yeah.
But I would recommend those to anyone as well. If you're down and you think everything's going wrong in your life or you're stuck, it's just a brilliant trilogy to read to answer lots of different questions.
I will link those books in the show notes so if people are interested and they want to go and see where they can get them.
Order them from Black Cat Books.
Yeah, I was just about to say, order them from Black Cat Books because Emily's awesome.
Love
We do, yeah.
Celestine Prophecy, I think, is an important one as well.
Celestine Prophecy.
Yeah, be forever grateful for gosh, my mind has gone blank.
Oh, it's okay. I can find out.
So I remember my husband telling me when I first met him, this is one of those books that you always buy and never seem to keep hold of. Because you end up lending it out to people and not getting it back. It's one of those. And I've bought it several times over the years. It's a brilliant book. It's a novel. It's not true, but it could be true. And it's just, again, it makes you see the world from a bit of a different perspective. It's a really useful book. So, yeah. I love a book that changes the way you see things.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a good way.
Yeah, in a good way. Yeah. I know that your favourite Sabbath of the world of the year is Samhain, Halloween. Yeah. And I know that you've got some very exciting plans this year. So would you like to tell me all about it?
Well, I'm off to Scared Fest.
You are off to Scared Fest.
It's something I've done every other year for many, many years because it's just a chance to have a blowout and be a kid. And yeah. And when you go to somewhere like that, Alton Towers, it's like you're in this little bubble. Yeah. The outside world doesn't exist. No. So you're just running around, going on rides. Yeah. And it's just amazing. Yeah. So, but I only ever go at Halloween because they have Scarefest and, you know, pumpkins everywhere and whatnot. And I just love it. I just love it. So I'm very excited. Yeah. I've missed it for the past 3 years. So excited.
Yeah, you're overdue a visit.
And then, of course, we did Uncanny stage show. And my Halloween's not over in November because we're going to see Women in Black at the theatre.
I watched the film of that the other day. Yeah. I watched it on my own in the dark. And I just thought at the end of the film, you know, when like they focus on her face at the end. And I was just thinking, God, you're a hateful bitch. And as she does that, she then looks at you through the camera and I was like, oh shit.
She's a bit of a rotter, that woman in black. I am a self-professed Halloween queen. I really am. I've always been obsessed with Halloween. But I cannot do gore, murders, slashes. I can't do that. Although I did watch Halloween this morning, but that's not too bad. It's not too graphic. But I'm talking spookiness. I love spookiness. Or I love Halloween, Hocus Pocus. And
spooky,
Haunted
witchy.
Mansion. I like the fun side. It's just such a wonderful time of the year. The energy is just completely different to the rest of the year, isn't it?
Do you have any rituals leading up to the 31st? Do you do anything for Samhain?
I wouldn't say I actively do, no, if I'm telling the truth. I'm more aware of our ancestors and things like that because obviously this is the time of year the veil is thin.
It is thin,
I haven't got any rituals that I do because my mind is just absolutely focused on carving the pumpkins, getting the sweets and decorating the house more than it normally is, and getting my little phantom lady projected on the side of the house and getting all the autumn leaves out.
It's your Christmas.
Oh my goodness, it is so my Christmas. So I go a bit mad. But I don't know, I just feel so full of energy this time of year and
as a buzz.
It's just amazing. It's just amazing. So
there's
definitely I wait all year for it and it comes and goes so quick.
I know. It's so sad, isn't it? It's my favourite month, October.
I love all the colours.
And I think this year, because we've had such a good summer down here in Cornwall, the autumn, this October, the trees have been beautiful.
Absolutely.
Like particularly vibrant as well.
And it just starts feeling really cosy in here and at my home. You know, you draw the curtains in the evening, you shut the world out, get all your twinkly lights on and get cosy. And, there's nothing for me not to love about it. Wouldn't do for us all to be the same. I've got a lot of clients, oh no, I miss summer. I'm like, no, I'm happy for it to be over.
I love summer, but then I love this time of year is my favourite up to Christmas or up to Yule, and then it's January, February that I really struggle with.
I think it's good to maybe have things in place to look forward to then, because it is a bit of a funky time of year for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got Discovery of Witches Talk at Jamaica in coming up in February. I'm looking forward to that. I think there's a ghosty hunt coming in with my goodness, my mind's gone blank. What's the new ghosty chap called?
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Yes, Lawrence.
So I was thinking of Lawrence House. Not Lawrence, is it? I got that mixed up. Yeah, so I think he's doing one at Christmas time. Definitely going to be doing, because I was gutted to miss the one in Charles Causley House, which is on the 1st of November. I won't be here. We're travelling back. I'm hoping he'll do that one again at some point. So it helps to have these things to look forward to.
Yeah, you're right. It does.
Rather than just a blank space of nothingness.
I'm going to go and see the play 222 in February.
I'm hoping to see that myself soon.
So I'm looking forward to that. That is something to look forward to. What future plans or events have you got for yourself within your craft, but also with Alchemy Nails as well?
Freyja, I'm ADHD.
I know you are.
I can't think ahead.
Or hopes or dreams.
I really should get more in touch with side more and more and more. I've become more and more open.
Yeah.
Over the recent, I had all that thing with certain local people.
I know. It's been
she's a witch, she's evil. But I think that sent me more the other way. Whereas I had one of them in here questioning me, was I a witch?
Recently?
No, before it all kicked off.
Yeah. Okay.
And I just got a bad vibe, and I bottled out, and I said I'm probably more witchy than a witch, and kind of changed the subject.
Went back in the broom closet a little bit.
Yeah, but then since all of that happened and it all kicked off, I thought, do you know what? No, I am, and I'm bloody proud. So I've been a lot more vocal and loud, and yes, I am. What of it? Don't do anyone any harm.
What does being a witch mean to you?
It means having power in yourself for yourself, I think. And it's not about having power over anybody else. It's about for you. So taking control and, things that you might not necessarily otherwise think you have control of, taking, having your little spells and rituals to take that control. And I just find it really helpful. Or to to help other people if you think you can. That's what it means to me. And being in touch with your spiritual side and nature and whatever else comes with it. That's what it means to me. I think it means something different to everybody, doesn't it? I don't think I would ever join a coven just because I do like to do my own thing.
Yeah, I
don't want to play by anybody else's rules. But I've definitely become a lot more vocal about it over the past couple of years, and a lot more open and a lot more proud. So I think I'm going to continue on that journey and get bigger and better.
That's amazing. Yeah. Say it loud, say it proud.
I'm getting bigger and better.
So if people want to contact you to come in to have their nails done here, how would they find you?
Well, I'm on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm on Instagram.
Yeah.
I am on Google. Other than that, I'm opposite Francine's Chip Shop down Race Hill. I think I am easy to miss because you park up in the car park next to me. And you've got things to do. That's why you're in town. So you rush past. You don't necessarily see me, which in some respects it's nice. But
you're almost quite you're not hidden, but you are hidden. And
I'm hidden in plain sight.
You're hidden in plain sight. It's quite magical. So what I'll do is I will link all of your socials and everything on the show notes.
Okay.
And I will put a couple of pictures out of the wonderful stuff that you do with people's nails, because they're always just so stunning and so much fun.
Oh my god, I've done so many ghosts.
Have you?
Last couple of weeks. Glow in the dark ghosts.
I
absolutely love it. I wish everyone would have it all year round.
Perpetual October would be perfect.
Absolutely. But then I suppose you've got nothing to look forward to.
That is true. Makes you appreciate it more. Pixie, thank you so much for coming on and being my guest for this episode. I've really, really enjoyed it. And I hope to have you on again very soon.
Anytime.
Thank you so much.
I hope you all enjoyed listening to my conversation with Pixie. I highly recommend her if you want to get your nails done. She certainly adds magic to your fingertips, and her studio is stunning. And I'm also manifesting that this episode reaches Danny Robbins from the Uncanny podcast, because Pixie definitely has some ghost stories that I'm sure he would love. I have also linked Pixie's book recommendations in the show notes. So it's now time for our weekly witch events, and we're starting with Cornwall and South Devon sister circles or covens. Once again, we have Roz and Booker. It's one of Cornwall's longest established covens. They've been guiding seekers upon paths of traditional initiatory witchcraft and Cornish magical practices for 25 years. And they hold meetings in North Cornwall and on the Devon-Cornwall border. Applicants are welcome to introduce themselves via email and visit their website for more information. A new one now, a lovely lady called Seren from Serendipity Healing emailed me to let me know that she holds 3 women's circles. Tuesday in Abbot Skerswell, Wednesday in Torquay and Thursday in Totnes, all from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. Applicants can choose the date and the venue that suits them, and Seren covers the same information in each one. The circles happen every 3 weeks, so you can celebrate each Sabbath and connect to nature's cycles, and then have a session in between each Sabbath to look inward. The circle is opened at each season, so at Samhain, Imbolc, Beltane and Lammas. Each season, you'll focus and work through different aspects of your shadow. This season, they're currently looking at the witch wound. In later seasons, you'll explore limiting beliefs such as people-pleasing, setting healthy boundaries, the sister wound, the not good enough or I'm too much wound, and much more. You also explore this in a safe, contained and closed circle with like-hearted women. And they also bring a lot of fun. It's a good balance between the two. Seren uses a variety of modalities to teach people to help them explore and integrate parts of themselves that are holding them back from who they want to be. These include somatic movement, guided meditations, tarot and oracle cards, witch runes. You'll explore crystals and herbs, journaling, creative expression through arts and crafts, Reiki and Sekhem energy healing, drumming and sound, goddess work with the archetypes, ritual and ceremonies, and lots more. If you're interested in attending these circles, then please contact Seren via her email for further details. And I have linked Seren's email and Roz and Booker's information for you to contact in the show notes. All right, so moving on to our Cornwall and South Devon witchy events. We are looking at events this weekend being held on Saturday, the 22nd of November and Sunday, the 23rd of November. And starting with the lovely Cunning Grove. So the Cunning Grove are a witchcraft and occult shop and temple. They are in Plymouth, and every Saturday morning they hold their witch, bitch and brew from 11 a.m. until the last witch leaves. The Cabinet of Folklore and Magic, which are based down in Falmouth, are holding their tarot readings this Saturday morning. On Saturday, Seed Talks are presenting the Witchcraft and Women Summit. This is being held at the University of Exeter in the Forum. It's from 9:15 a.m. until 5:15 p.m. and this sounds like an absolutely great day. It is going to be a full day of talks, workshops, discussions. Leading historians and practitioners will delve into the complex history, cultural significance, and lived experience of witchcraft, magic, folklore, tarot, and sorcery. Whether you're a scholar, a practitioner, or a curious learner, you'll gain a fresh perspective on the symbolism, practice, and evolving meaning of witchcraft across time. Tickets for this start at £36. Also on Saturday, The Dragon and the Rose are holding a magical journey of self-discovery. This is at St Hugh Parish Hall from 1 p.m. until 4:30 p.m. Join Kelly and Claire for an afternoon of deep relaxation and spiritual connection as you align with the potent energy of the dragons and the sacred feminine energy of the rose. The investment for this is £57 and it can be paid in 2 instalments. On Saturday, Hummingbird events are presenting the Feel Good Festival at Millennium House in Pensilva, Liskeard. It's from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. and it's a festival of arts, crafts, healers, clairvoyants, wellbeing talks, wellness, good food, and more. Also this weekend, Drawn to the Valley are holding a festival of contemporary artists. This is at Yelverton Memorial Hall. Saturday is 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. and Sunday is 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. And my lovely friend Holly is going to be having a stall there where she will be selling her restored vintage jewellery. And finally, on Sunday is the Intuitive Soul Nirvana Day. This is 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. at the Marazion Community Centre. All of the links for all of the events that I've listed are in the show notes. And just a quick update, if you listened to last week's episode, you might remember that I mentioned an event that was going to be happening on Tuesday the 18th of November at Llanstephen Arts, the Planetary Magic Lecture with Rebecca Beattie. This has now been postponed until the 20th of January, so if anyone was a bit confused as to why the date has changed, now you know why, and it will be next year. As we get closer to the time, I will do a shout out for this event again. If you have a witchy or spiritual event coming up in Cornwall or South Devon and you want me to give your event a shout out on the podcast, please do get in touch with me. All of my details to contact me are in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Cornish Witch Podcast. I will be back next week with another episode. And until then, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again.